Hello and welcome to Universal Love Law. Sorry guys, I'm trying to put my shoes. Let me actually do that in a minute. So I'm actually going to be leaving here in a minute. I am at work and I'm about to leave. I have to kind of wait after work for traffic to kind of die down because I do long commute. And I don't want my kids in the back seat like, oh, mommy, this traffic's forever. So I wait a little while to take them. But anyways, today I wanted to make a very quick video for you all regarding love, okay? So I wanted to do it from something that's relatable and true to me. That way maybe another person can take my experience and like maybe help them to heal. So for me, I feel like when it comes to love, I know a lot of people don't have this challenge, but I think a lot of people actually do have this learning lesson in relationships, right? I feel like one of the most common challenges that people face on a soul level, because of everything is a soul lesson, right? I feel like one of the number one things that people experience as a lesson and choose this, right? Our souls choose this, is dealing with oppositions, right? Polarity. So sometimes people need to understand what the lesson of unconditional love is, and the way that you experience what unconditional love is. Really, it depends on if you're able to reach it or not. But it comes in the form of a lesson through people, right? We're born with this whole mission that everyone has in this lifetime. Whether you get it right or not is based on you, the person who's living this life, right? But ultimately, this world feels real and the experiences here feel real because they're meant to. It's the way our soul would grow. How would our soul grow if everything was the way it is in higher realms of reality? Love and acceptance and enlightenment and peace. No. The only way that our soul is able to truly experience expansion and contraction is by coming to places like this, schools like this, life schools like this, where there are lessons to be learned. And what I learned is that I remember now, because life's about remembering, right? My soul now remembers that I came here to learn the lessons of heartbreak through deception, and everything is a mirror to us. So we might blame the other person, but ultimately we are vibrational matches to what we attract. And so a lot of people don't like my school of thought because it takes the victimhood out of things, and it really pushes you to take full responsibility for the way in which your life is manifesting. It makes you to realize that you're the captain of your ship, and the way in which you kind of move in your flow and destiny and order of things are all dependent on the choices, decisions, and the actions you'd make in life and the lessons that you overcome or may fail, right? We all have free will. So for me, I had to learn a lot of my lessons, and I believe that I had like soul contracts with these people was to experience betrayal, deception, abuse, and all of these things. And the thing about a lesson is, if you don't get it right the first time, it's going to come back again 2 times harder, then 4 times harder, then 6 times harder, 8 times harder, okay? And so I had to bump my head multiple times in relationships, right? I might go back to the person I know dang well I should have just left alone. But the lesson wasn't yet at its peak, right? Some people have to bump their head multiple times to learn their lessons, right? And some people, they bump their head so many times and never learn their lessons, even at they're old and gray. These are people that you see making just poor decisions, and they're really grown. You could just tell that they choose to stay surrendered to their lower self, and they have yet to master that power and control over your lower self, right? And power and control over your emotions, that requires time, patience, learning, really sitting back and reflecting, growing, and choosing to do better, right? That requires you choosing to do better. So in my relationships, I would learn multiple times. The person will reveal to me who they were at first, right? And it could have been abuse, physically or emotionally, like cheating or just talking really badly. And I would stick in it. And we have very poor examples in the world nowadays that teach you to stay in toxic situations. And it's sad, it's in the music, it's in the culture. We think that it's normal to be mistreated or that a person doesn't love you if y'all don't have these kind of experiences, when that's far from the truth, because love doesn't hurt. Real love does not hurt. You know what I mean? And so I had to learn this, right? I had to learn through the experiences. And so I didn't learn from the lessons of people hurting me, right? It took for me to become the crazy person that I never even knew was inside of me. But certain people were able to bring this obsession and psycho personality out of me. I've seen it in the people I've dealt with, and I've also seen it in me. So if you ever become stalkerish, you're stalking someone's page, or if you ever become obsessive, right, where you're thinking about them all the time and you're trying to find out ways to bump into them, or if you're, if you're at your breaking point, if you're at your lowest of lows, that means that you're almost there. And this is the part of life that will make or break you when it comes to the lesson of love. Because the lesson of self-love is a lesson that comes in the form of the opposite, which is hate, rejection, right? Abandonment, and it's all fear-based, right? We make these decisions, and we make decisions to stay in a toxic relationship and experience abuse, or to obsessively chase someone until they finally give in and tell us they love us. We do these things out of fear. And this is why a person should always ask themselves when they're about to get into anything, or when they are reacting very reactive, is this love or is this fear? Okay, because if you are in a situation where you're trying to get to know someone, or you're getting to know someone, or you know someone, you may have even been intimate with them, and the roles kind of change, they lose interest, or they're not as attentive, then walk away. The moment you begin to start, pursuing them more, or chasing them down, or thinking about them compulsively, or just manipulating them emotionally, right? Because that's very manipulative, to hold a person accountable to fulfill your own love within you, like why, like you, and these are very manipulative people when they are able to do something for you, and they do it so often that you get accustomed to it, and then the moment you don't do something for them, they're upset with you. Like, or they do so much for you in order to throw that in your face. I do everything for you. I'm always here for you. Watch a person who moves like that, because these are manipulative people who are trying to fill voids within themselves. Okay. So I had to learn through my experience that, from being an obsessive stalker myself to being obsessively stalked, like roles reversed, that when it comes to love, like I had to learn that is not love. Love literally comes from within. And if you came with the sole lesson to understand unconditional love, it may come as a lesson that is the total opposite, right? Attracting all of these negative people to you. And it might not even been a soul lesson. It may have been something that was created from trauma. So if we talk about things not just spiritual, but maybe on a psychological level, psychology, right? Nature versus nurture, right? If you were abandoned as a kid, maybe not raised by your mother or father, or if you were abused as a kid. See, everyone doesn't go through this. So we're like, well, I didn't go through that, so why am I experiencing that? I had mommy and daddy. I had love every birthday, Christmas. So how am I experiencing, the lesson of love through a negative partner or toxic relationships, which is not never them. Remember, it's always us. We're the mirror. We attract what we are. And that's where the lesson comes in. If you didn't have those experiences that sometimes the soul chooses a messed up family to be born into, to really have the experiences that feel real, like, to chase love. And when you chase, and you beg and plead and why me? I was good to you. You have to understand the problem is you. Okay? And even if a person is just born with all of those things that are love, right? Real true love, family, you never felt abandonment, right? These could be things, baggage from past lives, okay? Where you have brought this lesson into this realm, into this lifetime, which is a karmic lesson of unconditional love. And that will always and only come from within. Because if you're attracting partners that half love you or just are treating you any kind of way, and they don't care about keeping you or losing you, that means that they are just like how you are. You just are projecting this I'm a good partner type of person. But are you really? If you are attracting people like this, because a person that really operates and vibrates from a frequency of unconditional love within will only attract partners on that level, or they'll be single and waiting for someone that does come. So being and living in unconditional love, and that being a dominant vibratory state of being that you choose consciously to be in, because you face your trauma, you face your truth. Like, I've been an ugly, obsessive person. I have been stalkerish all on this person's page, or even people, I've never done this, but calling from other numbers, or just, the level and the extent that a person will go that is fear-based, feeling as though the object of your affection is going to get away, is you seeking something externally. And whenever a person is looking for something externally, the lesson will always come back to you as a person who cannot love you for who you are. A woman, a man, no one should ever chase. It's not a sex thing. No one should ever chase. If you're chasing something, that means you don't have it inside. And a healthy person with a sound mind is not going to chase. They'll show their interest. In the moment that person might not show interest, they'll move forward. They won't keep pursuing. They won't, I'm going to get that person. That is crazy. Okay? We need to start labeling things for what they truly are. And then beyond the crazy part, it shows that you lack that within. And this is where shadow works comes into play. This is where our subconscious mind comes into play. And this is, so we reach a level where we're really ready to grow. And it's when we're tired of attracting no good partners, man or female, right? When we're tired of chasing someone that doesn't see us, but they may be chasing someone that doesn't see them, right? And it's a habitual cycle that we only will continue to manifest and mirror off of each other, because our shadows, which are our deep-rooted insecurities on a soul level, which whether it be past life or from a childhood wound, which it may be this life from trauma that is undealt with. Either way it goes, it's deep in the shadows of your core, of your being. So if a person is showing you that they are not loving you or not caring for you, and you're chasing them, that shows that you are the definition of a lunatic, you are obsessive. If someone can bring that level out of you, that means that that's who you are. If a person can bring rage out of you, that means you are rage. Your core being, your core true self is rage. You just disguise it every day because you know you can't operate in a world like that, right? You don't even want people to know you're a stalker. You don't want people to know that you're crazy, right? Or that you're battling these obsessive thoughts over love and this person. That means you need to heal that and work on that, right? And so, I'm sorry, it comes off rude, but I'm not sorry. It honestly is something that we all learn. And so that's why I wanted to make sure I mentioned that I also experienced this before, you know, and in my journey and learning, I had to face a shadow of my own. I had to learn that this is something that, you know, I once dealt with, you know, and now I speak everything into existence as if it is now, which is I am healed. But it takes its time. Like, if you are triggered by something I said in this video, and maybe you are a stalker, maybe you are obsessive, maybe you are a weak, emotional person that needs a codependent relationship because you're not strong enough to love yourself. Sometimes people are not strong enough to face the fact that they don't love themselves and they're not comfortable with themselves. So they seek partners that validate them and give them affection and love until it becomes smothering. And then they act out in their true nature and go get someone else or do things. And now you're using your emotional manipulation. Why are you cheating on me? Why are you lying to me? Why are you doing this to me? You said you love me. You would never do this to me. Well, they're doing it. So if they're doing this to you, you need to stop begging this person to love you. Because if you ever are at the point of begging someone to love you, or if you're ever at a point where you're trying to manipulate a person to choose you, then you have already failed. And the universe sees all. And you'll continue to learn the lesson of self-love. Because this relationship will never last. It will always go through challenges and ups and downs. And you will always attract more people. Remember, it gets worse. Every new partnership, it gets worse. If you don't clear it and fix the wrong the first time, it's only going to get worse. You understand? It might go from emotional abuse to physical abuse to jail or even death. We always get red flags. And this is just a person running from their inner self. So I encourage people to always know the truth will never disappear. We chose these experiences for a reason. And not only the truth will never disappear, so you'll have to face your shadow. You'll have to learn how to heal those insecurities within you if you want a happy relationship, or if you want to attract a partner that is your equal. You know, you really have to do the inner work. You have to understand where your codependency lies, because if a person that came genuinely whole and complete right now in your life, right? You have to ask yourself, would I be super clingy? Would I emotionally manipulate this person? Will I come with baggage from my past saying, you know, this person did that, this and that? Are you really healed from those past relationships? Or are you carrying that baggage in you? So honestly, we really want to start our journey of healing through acknowledging, first and foremost, that we have a problem. Okay? The moment you're able to admit there's something that it's not the universe just punishing me. It's not me just attracting negative people because I'm a good person. No, you're attracting what you are. Okay? And it's not about being this super strong macho person. It's okay to be vulnerable after some time. You know, we don't want to form relationships that are built on trauma. Like, I'm sharing my feelings of pain and what I went through, and you're sharing yours, and you're really a good person, and I'm really a good person. And we get into a relationship based on pain and trauma because we can relate on that. Why a relationship is something you relate with another person. You can never relate what's not within. You can only give what is inside. So if you're not healed, you're broken. That's what you're going to give, broken pieces. And that person is going to be giving the same thing to you, because there's no way you're going to attract someone who is whole and complete. For one, that type of energy will repulse them. And they won't even see an attractive mate when they see someone who is not whole and complete. To be whole and complete is a journey. It doesn't happen overnight. And it's something that happens with time and practice and patience and revelation, right? You get these epiphanies in the middle of the night, sleep insomnia signs, right? Revealing to you what is the true nature of your wounds. And that requires time. You have a whole set of guides, angels, spirit team that is here helping you through your trauma each and every day. And the life you desire is a life you can actually experience if you transform your subconscious mind, reprogram that with the new set of belief systems. Because if your belief systems are based on I am strong because I overcame a abusive relationship. Did you really? Or is that just something you learn to bury and hide within yourself? A person who really is able to heal realize that they're the monster the whole time. That evil person you attracted in the mate, you were the same exact thing as them. You were their mirror. You are what you attract. So if you attract a negative partner, you're negative. Even if you choose to be the victim in the relationship. So we put so much, we demonize the partner who's abusive and the cheater and the liar, but we never hold the victim accountable to the fact that they attracted it in the first place. They didn't pay attention to the red flags, and now they're stuck in a codependent relationship because they rather stay in this relationship than be alone. Or they rather just be alone than they even try to heal what's going on within. Some people don't even have to, they can say, I'm just waiting on the right person to show up in my life. I'm just working on myself and healing myself. And they'll be single forever. Because they're frightened of being in a relationship again. Because they know they have not done the work. And doing the work is acknowledging that you are the monster in the mirror. You are a fear-based person. You are weak emotionally. You don't get strong by being with a strong partner if you're weak. You'll attract a person who appears strong but really is weak like you. And guess what? Like attracts like a mirror. It's a magnet. It's a magnet. You understand? So we have to face the demons in our closet. We have to be honest with who we are as a person. Do you have problems? Because the universe wouldn't even attracted you to this person if it wasn't something in you. So we just really have to hold ourselves accountable, and do the work. And the way we do the work is by first and foremost acknowledging there's a problem. Second, we have to identify our lower natures and our weaker natures and our fear-based natures. Okay, do we operate from a point of fear, like I need to be with someone, okay, or I love love, I love the thought of love, that I can ignore everything else, or this is what a relationship is, a relationship that sticks together through thick and thin no matter what. It's so many belief systems that we have within. So when we realize that we're the one with the problem, it's never external. It's always internal. We have to face our own hidden enemy, our own man in the mirror, right? Which is, I am compulsive. I am clingy. Sometimes we have to admit something. I'm not saying this is what I am. I have my own set of insecurities that I have overcome and that I am overcoming. You understand? So I'm doing the work. Do I expect a partner to come now whole and complete? No, because I'm still doing the work. So if anything, I might meet a partner that's doing the work too. You're only going to attract what you are. Okay? But I feel like I'm ranting. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comments below.